Some of this stuff swept up a little bit. Let's see. What's up, Cleveland? Jeffro, Tim, how you doing? Baron Boss Lady? Thanks for coming in, guys. I appreciate it. So, all I really want to do today is get this little piece that we glued into the stretcher done and get the wedges shaped and see how far we get. We're at work, but hit the leg button. Hell yeah, thanks. What up, Henry? Yeah, I figure most people are at work today. I have today off, so I figure why not be out here, get some progress done. Ugh. So if we're gonna do some sanding, I need to do. Need to figure out a way to cut that out to square it off. Hey Suzanne, how you doing? What's up, Brazil? Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it, guys. I didn't expect to see so many of you. Let me get rid of these beer cans from yesterday. And yeah, I didn't expect to see so many of you today. I thought today was going to be reconnecting again. Let me make sure I'm not connected to the Wi-Fi. That off. Back to work. Yep. Thank you. Thank you for popping in and hitting buttons. Let me get a fan going. It is already brutally hot in here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the bandsaw and then I don't know, probably just run a chisel. So I'm going to use the bandsaw and just kind of work this little nub out of here, and then probably use a chisel to clean it up. I wanted to do a rounded bit in here, but I don't think that's going to happen. So we'll do a little bit of chisel work, clean it up, make it look pretty, and then we should be good. Oh, fucking Christ. Go away, name. Nobody likes you. Smell funny. I also forgot that kids are off of school. Hey Emily, how you doing? Well, if you don't care, here. Bye. Nobody cares what you care about. You're on my fucking channel. Piss off. You don't like it? Scroll on. That wasn't at you, Emily. That was at some fucking tool bag up in here. How much process yesterday? Yesterday we got... What's up, random? Yesterday we got wedge roughed out. Just a rough idea. We got this one laid out and the slots cut. We got our stretcher pretty well done. I gotta fix this little piece here. We got our legs glued up. We made pretty good progress yesterday. What's up, Nolan? Random? How you guys doing? What up, Bon and Oak? How you doing, buddy? Jesus Christ. So much stupid. 120 outside. Come on, random. It ain't no 120 in Canada. I'd believe if it was like 70 in Canada. Alright, I'm gonna get some of this stuff cut. And I may switch it to subscriber only just so we have less of the stupid. Mother. Hey, Turbo, how you doing? How you doing? What's up, Sant or Ray? Yeah, I got off today, so hands are literally sweating. Yeah, so I have off today. I meant to take off today and tomorrow. I looked at the calendar. Between me doing the calendar and doing a time off request, somehow it changed to Friday and Monday. So. Yeah. So here's a shop tour of my little junky shop. There's the door. There's my power corner. Bandsaw. There's a bunch of. It's just kind of where I stick shit. The awesome fridge, toolbox. The planers over here. There's a whole bunch of lumber under here. Just kind of a random bench, bunch of lumber, the project we're working on, some kind of miscellaneous junk, more lumber, the laser is under that, and then we got this bench here that's just kind of covered in junk and all my drills and stuff up there. And that's it. And we got the USA carving up there for Mamie Joe. Still an air filter. Oh man. Yeah. Trying not to have heat stroke. Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. The heat is ridiculous. Like I don't generally mind the heat, but you know, we could have had like an ease into it. What's up, Mrs. T? And the bearded shotgun? Not yet. Not yet, but soon. Yeah, we could have had like a ramp up to the heat. We went from, oh Christ, I don't know, like 60s, 70s to just 90. Just hot. Like stupid hot. In fact, I think we might have had a day down in the low 60s. Looks like Turner's been helping you. Yeah. What's up, Colby? I gotta get to shop. After this is done, we're gonna start working on shop projects too. Because I need cabinetry, I need spaces to put things. Otherwise it just gets this. So let me get this cut out here and get the wedge itself cut. And we can move on from there. Alrighty. What's up, Robert? Hey, Turner, thanks for popping in, guys. Appreciate you. I'm in here, he talking junk. What's up, Mike? Thanks, Woodmaster. Appreciate it. I'll time to change the name, Urkel. West Virginia humidity in the seats killer right now? Yeah, for sure, Robert, for sure. Thanks, Woodmaster. I appreciate it. It's a flat spot, storm spot, right? Tried to drink earlier, but the heat is too much. Yeah, I know, Colby. I know. He got mod right out of there. Yeah. Who's the? Oh, yep. No, not happening. Yep. I got all the mods I need at the moment. Mods that I can trust. Alright, so I got to do a little chisel work to clean these up and make them smooth. Which shouldn't take long. I don't have to do a whole lot. I did most of it on the bandsaw, but you can see, like, I just needed this just to clean up, be straight. And in fact, I bet I can do a lot of that with just sandpaper, because I don't have any real big craziness. The ones that I might not be able to do with sandpaper, it'd be this end right here. Can't trust me. That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. What's up, Mike? I meant I don't need any more mods at the moment. There's people. I have a list. I have a list of people. No worries, Mike. No worries. And I do temp mods on occasion. You know, when I need it, or. But for right now, we're doing good on mods, I think. Oh, jeez, dropped it. Oh, oh, broken anyway. Hey, Night Owl, thanks for popping in. I appreciate it. I hope the fan doesn't bother you guys. If it does, I'm sorry. It is warm. It's 11:30 and it's warm already. Alright, before I go breaking out sandpaper, let's get this little thing. Night Owl, we're doing some of the final prep on our stretcher, wedges, and legs for that bassinet right there. Always miss a lot. I appreciate you popping in today. It's awesome. I didn't think I'd have so many of you guys in here, honestly. I thought it would be a very troll-filled live this morning, because, you know, it's Monday and people have jobs and stuff. I need something that I can rest this on. Can I rest it on this? Will that work? It's lazy afternoon. Hey, what's up, old path? Working patrol nonetheless. Now let's pair that off with a chisel. Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna grab a chisel here, get that cleaned off, and then we can break out the sandpaper to clean up the wedges and that piece there. Get it all rounded off and smooth. You know it's hot. I don't have jeans on. I mean, I still have pants on, but these are what I call my fishing pants. They're like lightweight, kind of noisy pants. And they're made by Berkeley, so they're definitely fishing pants. Gonna make some lunch, oh yeah, Susan? Hey Matthew, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for coming in. Oh man, I'm almost a perfect match on that grain. Almost. You can still see that it's a repair, but better than a hole. Alright, so here's what it looks like so far. So you can definitely see that there's a repair there. Now we're going to sand it and see what it looks like after that, but they have a bunch of framing lumber. Yep, don't let it go to waste. Put her to use. Alright. Anyway, so you guys, I told you I'd show you the repair. I'm not a big fan of hiding things, so everybody will definitely see everything I do. think this is 220. Nope, that's 150 on there. This is 220. Actually, I want my foam pad for that because of that edge. It's on here somewhere. I just had it yesterday. Took it off to do a flat sand thing. What do I do with it? Oh, right here in front of my face. Alright, so let's hit that with some 220. Oh. See just how well or how it looks. Alright. Grab a paper towel, wipe it off. So you'll know I didn't turn it or anything. There's the repair. Right. You can still see that there's a repair there, but it's not. Now you can see it even more from in here, right? From this end. But this is the visible end. Also, it seems to be a little lighter than this piece here. Now this piece here has also been exposed a little longer to the air, so this one could oxidize some. Kind of hoping that's what happened, but anyway. I don't think I did pretty close on the grain match at least. That's the bottom anyway. So the wedges will go in this way, right? And that repair is right there. So I don't think it's too bad. It's not perfect, but it's better than a chunk missing. And all you do for that is, oh goodness, put you guys way up there. Hey Steph, you gonna do some man work? I left you my wheelbarrow and shovel and rake, garden rake. Thanks guys, I appreciate that. What up, Sergeant Grass? Yeah, so, I mean, I know it's there. You all know it's there. But if you're just glancing at it, it's real easy to miss. Right? And it'll be on the bottom. It's not visible from the side. From the side, you'd actually have to look at it. So I'm perfectly happy with it. Now so all you do for that is you take a piece of wood. I used this. I took a chunk out of this block here, which was a cutoff from this anyway. And I just tried to find a part where the grain match. Opened that slot up so it was a little wider and squared off. And then made a piece to fit in there nice and tight. Tried to match the grain, the color. And then shape it. You guys see that part. And it works with a lot of mistakes like that. You got a gap, you can make a little wedge, try to match it up. You'll see it, but it's better than a gap, you know. um, but another thing that I've done is kids sitting under it might notice, right, Night Owl? Another thing I've done is when I've made a mistake like that and I've had to fill it, I've highlighted it. So instead of trying to grain match and color match, which I don't know if I color match that one very well, we'll see in a few days if it's gonna kind of darken a little bit. I mean, it doesn't look terrible shade wise here, but when I was showing it on the camera, it was very different. But another thing that I've done is I've highlighted it. So I've opened it up, made the mistake bigger, and then put in like a contrasting wood, like maple or black walnut or, you know, something that was definitely different. And I've had mixed results with that. Like, it's always been repaired, but customers, sometimes they like it, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they want it to look like it's perfect. Other times they want you to highlight mistakes. Or they don't know they want you to highlight a mistake, because every customer wants some perfect, right? But sometimes they'll do it and they'll be like, oh, what's up with this here? Why is this a different color? That's weird. And you tell them that, you know, you made a mistake and you wanted to highlight it instead of trying to hide it. And a lot of times they appreciate that. It looks more authentic, I guess is the word. It looks, I don't know. I get mixed. It's kind of 50-50 in my experience. Alright, I need to get a thin stick that I can fit in that slot. I should have a few dozen of them laying around here somewhere. Oh, maybe not, because I got rid of most of my, I burned most of my scrap one day. Oh, yeah, I do, I got some. I don't know. Will that fit? I'm gonna have to work it, but I'll probably get it in there. Yeah, it'll definitely. Cherry wood will darken over time. I just, excuse me. It may darken differently. Maybe it won't get as dark. Maybe it'll get a little darker. But it's on the bottom. I can't imagine. Can't imagine there'll be a whole lot. This is too big. Well, I hope everyone's staying cool today. You know, it's kind of a heat wave pretty much everywhere, for what I understand. Hope everybody's staying cool. I'm gonna open that one up a little bit more. little bit. Oh. I don't remember. I'm probably going to make it so that they both fit on both of them. Since this one here is a tiny bit thicker than the other one, like not by much. You can see it goes on. It just doesn't go on all the way. So I'm going to make them both fit this one, so that way there's no confusion when Alan goes to assemble it. What's up, Blue Monster? Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly right, Night Owl. That's exactly right. Like sometimes a customer doesn't know that they want to see a mistake until you show them what it looks like, and then they, at least in my experience, the ones that like it are the ones that go, you know what, it looks more custom made now. Last night you were whining that it was cold. I told you, putting a curtain up in front of doorways. Told you putting a curtain up in front of doorways is way better. Way better. That's what I do in my house. The living room, dining room. The living room, dining room is curtained off, so that whole side of the house stays nice and cool. The kitchen, the back room, the back bathroom, or the back entrance room and the back bathroom. Like those, the sun beats on them all morning and all afternoon. So the ACs couldn't keep up with keeping them cool. But now, so I leave my furnace on circulate. So it kicks on every now and then, circulates air around. And that helps to cool off the rest of the house. But the AC in the living room isn't trying to do everything, if that makes sense. I gotta sand a little more. Sometimes I know what I'm talking about. Other times I just make shit up. But if you're convincing enough, or if you sound like you know what you're talking about, people tend to believe you until they look it up. You were cold? So, unfortunately, my process today isn't going to be that exciting, because we're pretty much just on cleanup work. We don't really have anything to build anymore, except for the bottom of the bassinet. So the next couple of live streams are probably going to be pretty boring. At least until I get to the finishing portion. You know what? I wonder if I just somehow managed to dome this instead of sand it flat. Maybe that's why, because I cut them with a router at the same measurements. That is what's hitting there. Scraping right there in the middle. I don't want this to be pushing these apart and creating stress. I want the only stress to be this way against it, so. I'd say science for everything. I have become pretty good at the art of bullshitting people. Ask me a question, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but I can convince you that I know what I'm talking about. Dumped coffee all over you. It's like woodworking. I don't have a fucking clue what I'm doing, but alright, let's see if that's a little better. I don't want to thin that out too much. Uh-oh. So we're getting some drag, some drag. It's really hard to tell if this is angled or if it's not. But I can sand a little bit in here and find out. This is the one that fits on that side, right? Almost. Almost fits on that side. That's got to be this one. So this is the one that fits that side. Oh. So how do I turn it around here? That one fits that side. That one. Well, it actually does fit that side. Okay, so they both fit this side. And my problem is this. So let's clean this up a little bit. Raising her right. Knock a beer can over just to drink it? Oh yeah. That's my kind of dog. Suzanne, how's the dragonfly painting coming? I didn't see any new videos lately. One great day, you got for your wife's wine. Okay. Well, that's the one that I haven't sanded yet. That one needs to be sanded. So this one. So it looks like I'm still doming the middle. Which makes me sad. I don't really know how to not do that. Way too much pressure. Oh, you can see I'm also doming this one. I got a curve going, so it goes up like this. You can see the shiny spots. Mostly to enjoy the pool, but you're almost done painting? Hell yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with enjoying the pool. Hopefully that knocked that pump down a little bit. It looks flatter. Let's see if I can do the same thing over here. A little bit flatter. I'm hitting there and there. Logic would tell me it's not plugged in. Maybe I can use the bandsaw here to drag the blade, not use it to cut, but use it to scrape the side, make sure my sides are straight. Yeah, I want there to be a little bit of play for I want there to be a little bit of play for expansion and contraction. For sure. I don't want it to be a very tight fit. Greetings from Ireland. How's the project coming? We're working on the wedges. We got the legs glued up yesterday. We got the stretcher all done. Just working the wedges out. And then we're going to start on the box. Well, finish up on the box. Gotta do some cleanup on the legs so that they're completely done. Thanks for popping in, Vitaly. Appreciate it. Night Owl, you're in Ireland? Nice. There we go. Now it drops on there nice and easy. It's got a little bit of play. All right, Suzanne. Alright, that one fits on there. That one needs a little bit of sanding. They both need a little bit of sanding, but they both fit now. They both fit on both sides. Good. Any recommendations on starting woodworking with fuck all space? What's the challenges of Irish weather? Well, I would say things like if you wanted to get into hand tools, if you don't have any space, hand tools are very compact. You know, like hand planes, chisels. You could do little stuff like cutting boards, and it sounds like you maybe not have a whole lot of outdoor projects, but I'm sure people have like porches and stuff. So maybe outdoor furniture, kind of like benches type of stuff. Those are pretty simple projects to start out. Cutting boards would work on your joinery skills, unless you did like slab kind of things where you just took a board and shaped it and sanded it and stuff. Those, I tend to call those more like charcuterie boards, but a cutting board is, you know, I look at those as, I do edge grain, right? So you got your face grain, you got your side grain, or your long grain. I put it so it's face grain to face grain for my strips, so that way I have end grain up top, or not end grain, that's end grain. I have edge grain up top. I think it looks better, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's a lot of crafters actually in the chat right now, and one of them is apparently in Ireland. So maybe they would have some ideas, but I do know that like benches and things like that, maybe even like little tables that people put in an entrance room or a hallway. Those are fairly simple. They can be fairly simple builds. Depends on how extreme you want to go with it. So they seems like a good starting off point. Now, if you're looking for projects to sell, check your local market. Check your local market and see what other people are selling. Yeah, you could do something like a pop-up gazebo if you got outdoor, if you got like a yard of some sort. Or a driveway. So the first projects that I started making, lunchtime in Popeye, hell yeah, Mike. The first projects I started making were just for myself, and they were like just little quick screw together kind of end tables. I made them just out of construction lumber, you know, and I'd go to Home Depot or Lowe's, and if I wanted a fancy top, I'd get one of their oak boards or something. You want a pizza delivery? Hell yeah. I could deal with a pizza. No. Alright, so I got plenty of slop there. Now I'm basing my slop off of this one because this was the one that was tighter. So I'll have probably even more slop on this one. About the same, I guess. So we're just going to sand up the saw marks that I put inside there. Then we can sand the face and then do some rounding over. Is Mike leaving? Thought he was going to hang out and have pot pie with us. Wait, what kind of pot pie, Mike? Like an actual pie or like Pennsylvania Dutch style pot pie? Where it's noodles. Is Vitaly Mike? I'm sorry. I thought maybe I was looking at two different comments there. So I'll be honest, if you look in here, I don't know if you can see it. See those real fine lines there? So this is what I'm starting with. And I'm not really going all the way and making those super smooth. I'm just kind of knocking them down. I'm not sure if I'm gonna make them super smooth. But let's be honest, I'll never see that, so. What's up, Dahana? Well, I hope I didn't butcher that too bad. If I did, you'll have to forgive me. So one thing we won't do is we won't put any finish on this here. We'll wax the tongue itself and we'll put finish on the wedge except for in the slot. And I'm gonna try to keep a bare spot here on the curve, right where it's gonna meet the little angle here, because we want grip. You don't want it to slide. Getting hungry all this talking food, right? You don't want it to slide. So I don't know what kind of finish I'm going to put on here. Maybe I'll put the hard wax oil on here. I don't know how slippery it'll be, but it'll be soft. So even just working it should wear it away. Those are both the same. Yep. What I do have to do is I have to flatten that end off there. Great, I'm getting kind of hungry myself. I was just in the house. I could have had some food. Steph didn't send me home with leftovers last night. I don't know what I'm going to eat today. Probably have to order a pizza. So we're going to I'm gonna break out a chisel. Let's see if I can see if I have one that is this wide. That would be super convenient. Now, I gotta go with a 1/4 inch because it's not quite a 1/2 inch wide. So we're gonna knock this down a little bit. Just kind of flatten it off, make it look pretty. Fucking hell, OG. You know what? That's fun. Alright, Steph, have fun. Have fun. I might be over to hop in your pool later. We don't know. I don't get in the pool very often, but welcome back, Vitaly. Welcome back. It sounds like one of my neighbors has decided this is a great time to mow their yard. Or they have somebody mowing a yard. I personally try not to mow my grass when it's, 90 degrees. Beat the hell out of it. Bought for your dog? Oh. Ready to go. I missed all the good advice. I'm sorry. Well water will be nice and cool. Hell yeah, Matthew. You gotta hustle. Gotta get that hustle in. Ain't nobody gonna do it for you. So I'm thinking that later today I'm going to set up a membership thing. And we're just going to, no pressure for anybody, right? I don't have anything to offer at the moment. We're just going to run with it. I've gotten, in the time that I've been talking about the membership thing, I have gotten 15 emails, which is awesome. But, and I guess they're just people who either I missed their comment on a live or they didn't, feel comfortable talking on the live. But I've gotten about 15 emails with people telling me that I should do memberships, even just for people to have a way to kind of support the channel a little bit. Now, that's not what I'm all about. I'm usually all about giving people value for their dollar. But we'll figure out what makes it worth $1 or whatever the minimum membership is. We'll figure out what makes it worth $1. What's up, Viking? Viking, look. I don't know if you were in here last night or yesterday, but we got the legs glued up yesterday. We got our wedges roughed out. We're doing the cleanup on the wedges now. We got the stretcher all done. So I got to do some cleanup on the legs, right? And then we can put it together and set the bassinet in there so that I can figure out where I'm putting the dowel pin to hang it and all that. Doing pretty good. I can pretend I'm bank. Drink 3/4 of yours too. You looking to woodwork or carve? Oh, I'm sorry. I missed the entire conversation. Are you? Yeah, cheese whiz. I'm still not drinking. Not yet. Want to get this done. I'm gonna have a drink here shortly. It's getting to be about 1:30. But yeah, or Bearded Viking, he's got a great channel. I mean, I know y'all can see he's got that check mark there, so he's got a bunch of members. But he does lives in the evening, East Coast time evening, and a couple days a week he'll do what do you call them? Sellaways? Something like that. He makes jewelry boxes. Very, very nice jewelry boxes. And it's like $5. And you can you get an entry. You can buy as many entries as you want. Sometimes people donate entries to people who say something, and then he ships you one whatever box he's giving away at that time. It's not given away, but and the chat it's usually just a hangout chat. Like everybody just gets to talking, having a good time. Viking answers questions, yells at people. It's pretty chill. He doesn't yell at people very often. But if you're being stupid, he'll yell at you. I love it. It's hilarious. But you should definitely check out his live streams. I mean, everybody that's in here, like Crappy Man, Rhinestone Susan. Crappy Man, he makes baits. He's got a good channel. He does a nightly stream. Every night's Thursday night. Thursday night he's hanging out in my stream usually. Or him and the missus are doing something fun. Suzanne doesn't do live streams, but maybe one day we'll convince her to do it. Starting the furniture. Oh, I remember that. You were saying that you were doing a course to learn how to build furniture. Or cabinetry or something. Was that you? A couple of nights ago? I think that was you. But yeah, everybody in here, like Mike making stuff. He's got a good channel. There's a whole bunch of good channels in here. And those channels in their chats will lead you to other good channels, which will lead you to even more good channels. It's a whole the makers community is a hell of a rabbit hole. But it's all good stuff. It's all quality material and stuff. I wonder if I can get that to sand on the belt sander and then finish it with the hand sander. We're gonna try it. What's the worst that could happen? It's only wood. Wouldn't be the first time I broke something. Probably won't be the last. In fact, we might break something on the box here later on. Out for another delivery? Hell yeah. Yep, Edward, it's definitely a great community. And definitely safety first. Speaking of safety, I'm going to put my mask on because this is black walnut. And this machine makes a lot of dust. Even if I have my shop vac hooked up here, the dust usually blows away here. Doesn't generally make it down there. But let's try to sand it a little bit. Get these things shaped. We're getting there, got a little bit left to go. It's not too bad. We got rid of all the saw marks, so we can sand that off real easy. here's what we got. All right, we did a quick sand on everything. Also, Vitaly, you were asking about easy projects. Channels like Bearded Vikings. He does a lot of videos of fairly. I think he covers quite a range. They can be very easy, or they can be a little more complicated. I don't know any tool requirements, so that might be an issue in terms of space. So. Dad's Workshop, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Thanks for popping in. See you later, Night Owl. Thanks for coming in. We're supposed to clean shape. Listen here, Edward. It gets most of it, and that's what I'm really working out. Check the Viking out. Hell yeah. Yeah, he's got a good channel. He's got a good channel. He's a good guy. I believe I've seen a post of his that said he hit like 200K subscribers, so he's got to shave his head or something, which will be amusing. Now, when you're watching videos about building, you got to remember that if they, if it's a video that says something like, I made $600 out of this piece of wood, you got to take that with a grain of salt, because not everyone's market is the same. And I don't think Viking is one of these people, but I think that there's a lot of people out there that'll just post those videos to get clicks. They don't actually sell the product. I mean, Viking, obviously, he makes stuff and sells it. Right? He has an Etsy shop. He has, he gives away or does raffles or whatever for jewelry boxes that he has made. He's a really good craftsman. Really good. He can do dovetails in like 5 minutes, and I can't do a dovetail with a machine. It's rough. But just remember, the pricing isn't always the same. Like I said, I don't think Viking's one of those guys, but I think he's a great guy. He seems real down to earth, real honest. Of course, who knows? This is YouTube. I might be a jackass. You guys don't know. I am. Hint, hint, I am. Alright, so we need to start thinking about how we're going to shape these. Okay, so I have options. In fact, these are dry enough. Let's go ahead and dry fit this together and look at these, alright? Give me just a minute to get these things out of clamps. One. Here's a 2. I had to knock a little foot off my clamp, and if I don't pick them up immediately, I will never ever find them again. I've lost so many. So many. So let's see. Are we going to be able to set this on the table? No. I'm going to have to put... Why don't we do this? Put some of this shit away. Do this. Put one over here. Sorry, I forgot. Hole specific. And I'm thinking with the humidity, this one's going to have to be adjusted a little bit. Alright, but this gives us an idea of what we're looking at. Oh, you guys can't see nothing. Yeah, this... So this right here, this whole thing is the frame to hold the bassinet. This piece here in the middle, this is a stretcher between the two legs. And then that thing right there, right here, is going to hang from those two uprights. What's up, Gemini? Doing good, buddy. How are you? So, I can see right off the bat, I'm going to have to make this one... Oh, God bless it. See right off the bat, I'm going to have to make this one deeper. This wedge there. Which means I may actually have to make a new wedge. But, this gives us an idea of what we're looking at. So this is the general idea. Right? Hang on, I got this thing's plugged in. Or every cord's wrapped around everything. Take you guys around here. Now, it's nothing's seated here properly. Obviously, this isn't cleaned up. There shouldn't be a gap here. I'm going to have to do some adjustment. But this piece... So this should be inside this leg, this flat here. And the wedge will then push against these here and pull the stretcher into the leg nice and tight. Alright. In fact, maybe that's the other side? I'm not sure. Right, so it should sit like this. Okay, see how that's kind of in the leg? Might have to go in the leg a little more because there's still a gap here. So I might end up having to make 2 new blocks. Bummer. Oh, I have an idea. I don't have to remake the block. I have an idea. Oh, I can make this super cool. Anyway, so this will squeeze down and it'll press against the leg and against this and suck this fast, right? So it sits tight like this. This needs cleaned up, obviously. And then that gives it stability. It won't be able to rock when it's nice and tight. And then if you want to take it apart, you just pop the wedge out, pull the tenon out, And there you go. So that'll be the general idea, right? And then the bassinet will be hanging right here. It'll hang, probably somewhere around here. And we're going to put a black walnut cap on the top. Now, the question is, with everything being curved and rounded, and we're gonna round this off because this doesn't need to be that long, but we're gonna round it, make it look a little better. Should I just leave this chunky but round over all the edges like this, or should I do some sort of a curve here, make it sort of rounded? I do want to round over the bottom a little bit, right? Kind of taper that in. What do you think? So what my idea is, what I'm going to do, so I don't have to remake these wedges, is I have some really nice curly maple, and I can laminate this. I can laminate this, put a piece of curly maple on the back of this so that it's a little thicker, and cut this down a little bit more, right? And I won't have to worry about any angles or anything for the curly maple because this side is flat. This, see? So if I laminate it here, I'll get maple look. I'll bring the maple into it, and I can push it out some. And it won't be thick. It'll only be, I don't know, maybe 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, something like that. But this will give you the idea. So we've got the black walnut there. We got the black walnut wedge, which we will shape. We'll have a black walnut kind of pin right around here that you can pull out that stops the bassinet from rocking. We'll have a black walnut cap, and then right about here somewhere we're going to have a maple dowel with a black walnut wedge that goes side to side, because we don't want to go with the grain, we want to go across the grain. So we'll put it'll be cherry, maple, black walnut, and we'll be able to keep the theme, the theme will continue through the entire project that way, because cherry, maple, black walnut. And a little lily engraved in there. But yeah, so that's the idea. You agree with rounding the edges? Yeah, I think I have to at least do a round over on all the edges because I don't like sharp edges. But I'm thinking that I may do a heavy round over up here with a little flat spot for tapping. What's up, Janelle? Janelle, look. Well, I have to do a little bit more work, but there is the first time. See if I can step back here without tripping over stuff. There's the first time it's been assembled. So what we're going to do is we're going to glue a piece of curly maple onto the back of that so that we can thicken it. And then I'll have to work these down a little bit. And I can do this with the router. I can take that deeper, like that way. And I should be able to do it super quick and efficiently on both sides. And we will get to keep this. Now we won't do any rounding over of this thing until we have the maple is dry, so that won't be until like tomorrow. Yeah. So there's everyone's first look at the stand, and now that it's going together, I can see that my measurements were a little off on my my wedging here, which is fine. I should have started it. The wedge itself is fine, but it should have been moved back about a half an inch. What it looks like I did was I came out this thickness and just left it there instead of sitting it in. Thanks, Pine. I appreciate it. So, like I said, there is some work to do. We do have to clean up the legs, get the glue taken care of, do some light sanding. We're gonna fix the stretcher. We're gonna put a curly maple piece on the black walnut wedge, and then it'll essentially be done. Yeah, I think having the curly maple on the back here, and it'll only be about a half inch thick, will be nice. I think it'll add a nice. It'll carry the theme, I guess, because there's kind of this whole striped theme going on. So it'll carry that theme forward. Now, do I need to break out one of the big blocks, or is this one wide enough? Kind of hope this one's wide enough. Look at this. Oh fuck! I need to figure out how to get light to shine on the curl. There's a lot of curl in here. Come on. Show it, light. Show it. Not there's a knot. We're looking down here. I mean, you're not going to see the flat anyway. You're going to see the edges, which usually shows up on camera. Just trust me. This is super curly. Okay? There's a lot of curl, particularly on this end of the board. But I mean, it could work. It's going to be a little skinnier, by like overall about an eighth of an inch too thin. Now, I could break out one of my big blocks, or I'm going to look at my big blocks, but I have an idea of how I could use this. You can see here, you can see it's a little too thin, right? But if I were to center it and give it a little bit of a taper, that thin wouldn't really, you wouldn't know it. I could taper it in a 1/16 of an inch, or even just cut a 1/16 off each side of my wedge. So, but I have blocks that we'll have to resaw. So, give me a moment. All right, let's put you guys over here so you can see me up here in this pile. Get you guys over here. That's where I'm going to be. You guys get to look at my weird ass. Well, that's going to be super weird. Let me just unplug this. What if we shorten you up? Put you up here? Will you fall over? Eh. If you fall, you fall. Oh! I almost fell. Alright. I do have some really nice spalted maple as well. These are all pieces that I get from my local lumber yard, where there's a nice big chunky piece of curl. Hope you can see it. Let me grab my wedge and make sure. I almost fell off a step stool. Make sure you're getting stuff that's at least the right thickness. Yeah. So this is wider than that, so that'll work. Whoops. Got this piece. That's really curly. It's actually curlier than the other piece. And it's the right thickness. So this is stuff that I get from my local lumber yard. It's got a good amount of curl in it. They have this bin where they will put these like little kind of cut off pieces, and I'll buy them out of that bin specifically to put here on the wall, because these little cut off pieces come in so handy. Like, there's not a lot of curl in there. Not a whole lot of curl. I don't like it. But that's a 1 3/4 piece of maple that you could use for all sorts of stuff. Alright, I think most of my other curly maple up here might be too thin. I used to have this organized by species, and then I started getting more and more and more. In fact, I got this really awesome piece of, where did I put it? Oh, it's right here. I got this really awesome piece of curly white oak. Look at that. That costs like $2. Right? Like, try to get it so it. Anyway, what up, Alan? How you doing, buddy? I don't know what I'm going to use it for, but I'm going to find something to use it for. Alan, did you see the bassinet being sort of together? Right now I'm just digging through here, getting to my other curly maple. I might have some pieces that are wide enough, but I don't have to resaw. Over here. I got a lot of oak up here. There's curly. That's too skinny. Can't use that one. There's super curly, and that's plenty wide enough. That is well wide and thick enough. That is super curly. I don't know if you guys can see that. You can see it? A little bit? No, you were working? There it is, Alan. It's not done yet, but at least it's together. Now, the wedge, I have the wedge over there, but okay, let's put the wedge in it real quick. What do I do with my wedge? Here it is. We're getting there. We're getting there. I mean, obviously I have a little bit of work to do, and we're going to put, oh goodness. We're going to put a piece of curly maple on the back of this wedge, because evidently I messed up my measurements here. We're going to route that out again, make it deeper. And so we're going to make this thicker, and the curly maple will be able to add, it carry this line theme that we seem to have created. All right. Nice craftsmanship. Thank you, Woody. The curl was showing good on that piece. Good. I was hoping it would. This one is super curly. Now, one side is rough sawn, so I don't know what the other side looks like, but that is super curly, which means, yep, you can see it on the end, too. Oh, okay. Maybe you can see it. I can see it. So the edge is what you're going to see looking at it. This is what you would see if you took the wedge off and flipped it over. And I think this is the piece we're going to use. I really do. I'm going to look. There's another piece up here that I want to look at. Actually, there's two more of it back here. I want to look at first, but I think those aren't curly maple. Those are just regular maple. Those aren't good enough. That's a big chunk of poplar. That'd be really cool with some epoxy. I don't know if I can get you to. There's a ton of figure here, but I see. I'll buy this stuff. Yeah, this piece of curl, it's not as curly as that one. I really like that one. I'll buy this stuff. Like, here's another one of those that needs some epoxy. I'll buy it with the intentions of doing, those are too skinny, doing some like crazy work with them later on in the future, and then they end up just sitting here on the shelf. Down to the maple. It's not enough. That's not enough. Oh, it's another block. What's this? Oh, it is a block, but it's not enough. That's white oak, so it's a good thing it's not finished. Scratch it and cry. Let's get all this stuff put back up here, at least sort of semi-organized. So Janelle Packrat's Pack Rat's crafting supplies. I pack rack little tiny pieces of cool looking lumber. Some of it will probably never be used for anything. And others will get their day sometime in the future. Hey, Umut, hit that like button. Alright, so I think, oh, you can see it a lot better over here. I think this is the piece we're going to use. Super pretty lumber. And we're going to waste that view by doing this, but you'll see it back here. We're going to cut this down and then resaw it in half and glue each one half of it to each wedge. I mean, it's kind of sad to cover that, but you'll see it on the back side if you take the wedge out. It can be, and you'll see it on the side. The side profile will show that striping right there. But it can be Alan's little secret wedge, or his little secret curly maple. Wants to show it off to people. You pop out a wedge, be like, and looky here. But it's a really good use for this wood. And that piece is so small, like I can't use something like this for a whole lot. So this application is perfect. And it's wide enough that we have plenty of room to plane it down. We're not going to plane it, we're going to joint it. Check this out. And I think, looking at this curl, I think we're going to use this end because it looks more curly. Looks more gooder. So I think we're going to use that. So we're gonna leave it oversized by a little bit, right? And we're gonna, once we glue it on, we'll flush trim it with a router bit, and that way we know we have everything is exactly smooth and perfect. So it'll be a nice transition. But we're gonna cut this in half. We're gonna cut it down to size. So I need to get out. Oh, I'll probably put that on the table saw. Hey, table saw's already out. How convenient. And then we're going to split that on the bandsaw and then we're going to work it so that we can glue it together. So we'll get that laminated. We'll get that laminated here real quick. And my board. Alright, I also want the wedge. I want my sled, even though it's super tight right now. Oh. God Bless it, that's tight. What's that fucking humidity for you, folks? What's that humidity for you? Alright, so we're going to square this off. Okay, and then we want it to be slightly larger. Now let's go just a nudge more. There, that gives us a good bit of room all the way around. Cool. Okay. That gives us a good bit of room. We'll get a line drawn down, and then we'll just rough bandsaw it, run it through the jointer. We'll run both these pieces through the jointer so that we got nice smooth faces to glue to. And then, so this is, oh, how thick is this? This is inch and 2, 6, 8, inch and 9/16 thick. So we're gonna rip it in half. And then we'll worry about making it smaller or thinner later. But this way we've got plenty of room to work with. Alright, let's get a rough, first of all, you guys don't want to be looking at my back. Let's get a rough center line. Go from this side. A rough center line. You can see some of that curl on the side. Hey, see you, Alan. Thanks for coming in, buddy. I appreciate it. And now we're going to do some resawing here. we're just going to freehand follow that line. So it won't be perfect, but we should be able to get it at least pretty close. Man. Oh, I see. I wasn't sitting flat on the table. I cut it at a little taper, but it's all right. It's all right. We got plenty of room here. So we're gonna break out the jointer. We're gonna join an edge here. We're gonna join a side here. We'll join one corner and one flat side. One thin side, one flat side. And then yeah, we still are above my ½ inch, and I think that's all I need. So we got this. And just in case it doesn't work out, I've got another one. Anyway, let's let's get the jointer out. So we got to break this down so we can put this away. Breaking this down is kind of a pain, isn't it? There we go. Let's lay this down here. This one down here. This one over here. Put our 2 wedges over there. Break out the jointer, shall we? Josh, we're gonna go swimming for 50 legs? What the hell is he swimming in? People do some weird stuff for likes, I swear. Okay. I'm gonna put my pieces in here. I'm gonna make some noise. You guys bear with me. You got headphones in. It's on you. Francois! Hi, Nicole. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't understand why they wouldn't want to leave. It seems like leaving would be the best choice of action. But, alright, we're going to run these through on the flat sides to make sure they're nice and flat. So I have this adjusted to take really small bites. So we'll be right back. That one looks like it'll sit really good. So all I'm looking for is like any kind of a gap, because then I know that I need to go a little bit more. I don't see any real gapping going on. So let's get this put away. Let's get these glued and clamped together. And because those are both 10-degree angles, we can clamp them both together. I'll put some tape in here just to make sure that they don't get glued together. But we'll be able to clamp them as one block instead of having to try to deal with the 10-degree angle with the clamp. Oh, random. I hope your grandparents, hope they're all safe. Hope they stay safe. So, let's get a couple of clamps over here. Maybe I'll just over clamp the shit out of it. I don't know. Brought over 5, just in case. Get some glue. Where is my brush? There it is. Let's clean the brush out. Clean all this glue from yesterday out of here. Pop down. Nicole's out here just doing things. Oops. So I won't be able to stay live all day today. I do have some stuff that I got to get done today. But I wanted to at least make some progress on it, on this, and I may be back live later on this evening. Forgot about stuff that I've got to get done. So, it'll be alright though. We'll get some progress made. It'll be a step further than we were yesterday. A step further than we were this morning. You guys over here. But there you go. I'm not gonna put down any plastic or anything because it's whatever. It doesn't really matter. So I do want to make sure that I have full coverage here. I know I'm going to have some squeeze out, and that's fine. A little bit of squeeze out ain't never hurt nobody. Just an extra cleanup step. And since these aren't shaped or anything yet, the extra cleanup doesn't really matter. But I do want to make sure that I've got absolutely good coverage. No bare spots. There. This one blue. I've seen people just do like a little smush glue. They just wiggle the piece, they put glue down and then they just wiggle the pieces together. Don't. I mean, obviously it works. Otherwise people wouldn't be doing it. I just don't have that much faith in it. I need to know that I've got good glue coverage. Okay, I'm gonna grab a couple strips of tape. And we're just going to tape that just so that we know these don't get glued together. The squeeze out can get down there and be a surprise tomorrow evening. This one, put it on top of there. Hold that tape down. this. Put some clamps on it. Make sure we didn't walk the stuff right off the boards we're trying to glue together. Okay, it's going to be ripped up there pretty good. And it's so muggy, so humid and hot. I don't think, I will throw one here in the center too, just because. Why not add an extra little bit of pressure in the middle? There. We over clamped the dog shit out of it, so we shouldn't have any issues. Although since I clamped it in the middle, the other clamps got loose, which means that middle wasn't going to be a good glue joint. Although, actually, when I clamped it in the middle, it slid a little bit. That's why it really got loose. So, I think I've got a fix for that. Throw another clamp on there, kind of loose, just to hold them. That way, they don't just randomly slide apart. Now they can't go anywhere. There we go. One overly clamped clump of wood. We'll let that sit and dry till tomorrow. And it'll be alright. How long have I been live? 2.5 hours? Okay, so that'll be our new wedges. Well, the old wedges and the little extension that I'm putting on them. So that'll be great. We could, excuse me, could take care of those router bits that we got to do. Didn't even need the paper towel. So let's grab a clamp. I've got, no, they're over here. That's just there to stop this from running, walking away. So you know what I think I'm going to do? I think that'll leave me kind of a perfect spot. So let's get you guys resituated. And then after this, I think I'm going to call it for now. And I'll probably be back later. Open that up significantly. We'll do the same on the other 3 sides. That will give us plenty of room for the wedge. Okay, let's do the other 2 sides of the wedge. So all we did was we just ran the router down this side and opened this up. And the same we're going to do over here. I lost my little cap. Find that again. I'll find it now. Now we've got plenty of room for the wedge. Plenty of room for tightening it up. Lost my little foot again. I could glue them to get in there or something. It's double-sided tape, something. Alright. 20 people watching? Chat it up, folks. Chat it up. I don't bite much. Okay, so now that we've got that done, once the laminated wedges are done drying, we'll probably check them tomorrow. We'll double check, we'll shape them, we'll make sure they fit in here, right? And then we'll get everything put together, and we'll start doing any trimming up on these shoulders here that need to be done. What I'm going to do when I come back live later on tonight, or later today, what I'm going to do is we're going to, maybe we'll check the clamps. They might even be dry. The glue I can see right now is pretty damn dry. Heat, humidity, upset dry time. Like it shoots it through the roof. Or lowers the dry time, I guess. So what we're going to do when I come back here in a couple hours or so is we are going to work on these legs, get them finished up, get all the glue sanding, the hand sanding done, scrape anything that needs scraped, make sure I don't have anything weird going on. Yeah, just kind of basic stuff. Get these things cleaned up from the glue process. Make sure I didn't put any dents in it anywhere, anything like that. Make sure they're good and sturdy. And seem pretty sturdy to me. Hold up to me pushing on them and stuff. They gotta be pretty sturdy. We get any excess glue cleaned up here. Clean up glue down in the cracks as far as we can get, so that way it's less noticeable. But yeah, I think we're gonna call that one for this morning, and I'll be back probably here in a couple hours. Hang out with you guys. We'll get this stuff worked on. So thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. And we'll talk to you here in a little while. Thanks, guys.